Laser Vision Comics. This is issue 2 for our friend Old Man Winter.
It's me.
So, when we last left our hero, he had just been rescued from some kind of facility, an underground bunker of sorts, underneath a craft store, and he left with really just two strangers in a way.
Yes, at least I know one of their names. The other, he's like, I'll tell you later. Let's get out of here.
Yeah. Mr. to be named actually in this episode. So as we begin on our first page, it's about 11 o'clock at night, and Benny wakes up in the back seat of the car.
Where am I?
And Optic, the woman turns around, looks at you. She's like, "Hey, welcome back." We just got it. We just crossed the Illinois border.
Okay. Oh my God, Optic. Just realized. I was supposed to feed Andre's cats. He's gonna be so pissed.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen.
Well, yeah, it's been like months or whatever. But oh my God, he's gonna be so mad at me.
Well, I think you're probably gonna have bigger problems than that. And and you see she's even still got her sunglasses on, even though it's 11 o'clock at night. And the big guy who is driving. Again, just to describe him, he's like a large Asian man with just this like bodybuilder physique, and he's just kind of calmly driving. And Optic says, "Hey, Rocky, take the next exit. The hotel's." She goes, "The hotel is about a quarter mile off the interstate." And he's like, "Hmm." And you pull off the exit, and you eventually pull into this. It's like a chain hotel, and he kind of pulls the van up to the kind of by the front door, and she stops in, and Optic kind of takes off her sunglasses and is checking herself in the mirror, and she's like kind of making sure she looks presentable, and says, "Okay, I'll be right back." And she hops out and goes inside.
Okay.
And so you're sitting in the back, and the driver is just kind of looking at you in the rearview mirror.
Like, what's the plan here, my dude? Are we kind of just driving aimlessly, and I don't know, what are we doing? What are we doing here?
We are going to Chicago. The Heralds have a base there.
Okay. Good to know, I guess.
He just kind of just keeps looking at you in the rearview mirror.
I get into a staring contest with him.
Within a couple minutes, Optic comes back out and hops in the car. She says, "Okay," and she has keys. She says, "Okay, room's over on the side, so you want to go around this way. We'll go up that way." The driver puts the car, turns the van back on, and drive. And Optic says,
Optic.
"Hey, yes.
Optic, I gotta know. So, like, I get the whole thing, about the sunglasses is to, hide what's going on with your eyes. But, seeing as it's like 11 p.m., do people just automatically assume you like took a real fat blunt like right before walking in? Is that like the natural assumption people usually make for you, or do they just not question anything?
She just laughs and she says, "Yeah, sometimes people kind of give me weird looks."
Gotcha.
But most people don't seem to question it. She says, and then she leans back, takes off her sunglasses, and you see those like black veins in her eyes, and she says, but nobody really wants to see this, then they get really uncomfortable.
No, I would imagine that'd probably freak a lot of people out.
She says, "Hey, we're all going to be sharing a room. I hope you don't mind. Rocky here, he doesn't sleep much, so you're going to get your own bed."
Oh, okay.
And the
Rocky,
driver's,
why don't you sleep much?
"I don't need to."
Is that your special power? Is that your whole thing? You just don't need to sleep?
And he just kind of cracks his neck a little. He's like, "Among other things, yes."
Ah, okay, okay. What
He's-
are, what are the other things?
You'll see it in time.
Ooh, mysterious.
The optic just kind of laughs, and she says, "Yeah, he his name is the Behemoth.
The
But
behemoth.
Behemoth, but everybody just calls him Rocky. You'll find out."
Okay.
So,
Is he behemoth because he's just naturally big, or does he get bigger?
he gets bigger.
Ooh.
Yeah. So they pull the van up to the side of the side entrance. You guys have your keys. You get to the room. Again, it has like two beds. It's it's about like pushing 11:30 by now, and Rocky just kind of goes over, just sits in a chair, and just kind of sits and just calmly waits. Optic, throws some stuff down. You guys don't have anything with you, any clothes or anything like that. So she says, "All right, now it's time to have a talk that we couldn't have earlier."
Okay.
She says, "I think you've figured out by now that you probably have some powers."
Yeah, I kind of figured that out when I accidentally blasted that one guy with like ice and wind and snow and stuff. And also when I sapped the body heat out of that lady and she turned into a cold husk.
Yeah. Well, then you're what's known as a mutant, Benny. It means you were born with different DNA than others that give you special abilities, and I think you've maybe before when you were younger maybe knew some things about yourself, but now some things have changed as you can tell.
Yeah, I've never been able to shoot like blast out of my hands before.
And Rocky actually speaks up and he says, "AOL captured you."
AOL.
And Optic speaks up. She goes, "The Assembly of Liberty, or AOL for short, they're an organization that wants mutants removed from the country. They're bigots and will do anything to track us all down and wipe us out. Why they kept us alive, I don't know, but thank goodness our teammates managed to track us down and get us out of that lab."
Were we the only ones in there?
She says, "Yeah. Looks like they had like a couple chambers, but we were the only two that were currently in there. Crystal was able to teleport Rocky and herself inside to get us out." And
Crystal?
Rocky says, "Crystal took heavy damage. I made her leave before." And he kind of puts his head down, and Optic kind of goes over and just pats his shoulder. She says, "I'm sure she'll be all right. She's tougher than she looks." Yeah, we have a. My voice is terrible today. Sorry. So I'm going to naturally sound like Rocky.
I would say I could tell you got
Yeah.
that whole like
Yeah.
you got that like I've been out partying voice sound going on.
Never. Yeah, Optic says, "Yeah, we have a teammate named Crystal. That's her real name. It's not her code name. Some of us go by our."
And that's not her alias.
Yeah. She says some of us go by our aliases, but her power is she can open basically portals and can teleport places, which is really helpful for getting into places not being seen. So
What's her alias?
I think she goes by Blink, but we don't really call her that much.
I see.
So
Appropriate name.
hopefully you'll get to meet her soon. We're heading to Chicago because that's where our headquarters is for the
Yeah,
Heralds.
Rocky told me.
AOL keeps a real low profile, so your average person has never heard of them. They troll the internet looking for mentions or searches about mutants. They try to sway the public's opinions about us. They've tried to snatch one of us before. I guess we were the ones that they successfully got.
Yeah, I'd say they were real successful when they sideswiped the car.
Yeah. She says, I don't think normally they're that aggressive. So they must have really wanted you for some reason. Anything about your background?
Like a nobody, though.
You're something. You're somebody that they really want.
Oh, the secret organizations, man. Why are they gotta be so weird?
Yeah, that place was the first of its kind. None of us ever imagined that AOL was that big, organized, and well funded. So we've kind of underestimated them, but that won't happen again. And
Okay.
and she's like, I'm just exhausted. And Rocky says, you too must rest. So she
There-
kind of flips off her shoes, flips off her pants, climbs under the bed, says, see you in the morning.
Okay. Rocky, you got like a razor or something?
No.
Okay. Okay.
And Optic says, I'll get you something in the morning.
Okay. And then he'll sort of just like,
He doesn't have a chance to comb out his beard before bed, so.
well, he'll dramatically stand up and then swan dive onto the bed and then just pass out.
Right. The next morning when you wake up, he kind of raises his head, and just sees Rocky sitting in the same chair, just staring at him.
It's really creepy, dude.
I've been told that.
And you didn't take that as a hint?
What would you like me to do?
I don't know. Maybe not stare at me.
He's like, he just kind of turns his chair, looks at the other side of the room.
So that's a little better at the very least.
The hotel room door opens up, and Optic comes in, and she's carrying some bags. Looks like she went to a pharmacy, and also into like a local thrift shop. And she says, "Okay, guys, got you some new clothes." And Rocky says, "But what if I need to change?" She's like, "You can't go out in your red and yellow jumpsuit, man. It's just you're too recognizable."
And this isn't New York, man. It's Chicago.
He says, "Very well." And so she hands him a bag, and then she hands a bag to Benny. Has some shaving cream and a razor, just some toiletry stuff, and then also a bag that has some clothes in it.
Alright, cool.
She says, "Sorry for the lack of style, but they're clean." So I kind of just
It's
guessed.
fine. It's fine.
I just kind of guessed your size.
I'll make it work.
Okay. He opens up the bag. He has a T-shirt in it that says "World's Best Grandpa," and and a pair of cargo shorts, even though it's October.
Didn't have any jeans or anything.
I had to get in and out quick, man. She goes, "But I thought you'd like the T-shirt."
Oh yeah, the T-shirt is pretty good. I gotta admit, but the cargo shorts. All right, I'll work with what I got.
She goes, "It's not that cold out. You'll be okay." Rocky gets up and he goes into the bathroom to change. And then he comes out a couple minutes later, and he's got a Chicago Bears T-shirt on, and it is just way too tight. I mean, it's just barely got it over him. And he has some baggy sweatpants on.
Dude, you look like you're gonna flex slightly, and your shirt's just gonna rip in half.
It probably will. And Optic's like, come on, just you know.
Well, that'll still probably draw less attention than a jumpsuit, I guess.
Yeah. He's like, I prefer my jumpsuit. It grows with me.
That sounds like it would be useful.
So you then have time to go use the facilities if you need to. Go look in the mirror. See, look at your face again. Again,
yep, he's gonna do that
shock
for
white
sure.
hair now. So.
It's probably just gonna like, all right, time to cut this off.
Okay.
Gotta get that mustache back.
Okay. He gets down to his mustache. Okay.
And then he'll sort of like at least try to like trim up his hair a bit, because it's probably a bit on the longer side now.
Yeah. Okay. So he's kind of cleaned up. He's you know, maybe he's getting used to his new look. You know, it's only been a day or so that he's seen it, so it's it might take
Although
a
he
little
will
bit of
probably do like one of these and sort of like look at his eyes, because blue ain't his natural color.
Yeah.
At least it didn't used to be.
Yeah. When you step out, Optic has also changed clothes, and it's like, we're ready to go when you are, man.
All right, sounds good. And I gotta admit, I really rock this T-shirt.
Well, you are gonna look like the world's best grandpa. So.
The babes are gonna come flying in.
You guys head out and get back on the road. You're heading east through Illinois towards Chicago, and ride's pretty smooth for about the first hour. Benny's just kind of looking out the window. You know, could you make me a perception roll, please?
I can. Let me look at what I think I increased my perception since last time, so I did increase it slightly. Okay, that's 3.
Okay. Yeah, when he's kind of glancing around, and he they're over in the right lane, rightmost lane, because Rocky's a very careful driver. When Benny's kind of looking around, and kind of back in the left-hand lane, he sees this black SUV just kind of cruising along, and it looks similar to the one that he saw 3 months ago.
Well, you know, I guess if we're talking, I'll sort of like turn to Optic and just be like, well, if we're talking like, no, secret societies or secret organizations or whatever, I guess they would go, you know, the traditional super sketchy vehicle, like the one that's following us right now, but I guess that's just a guess.
And she's like, oh shit. And Rocky speaks up. He says, that black SUV has been following us for 1.9 miles.
Okay. So are we gonna try to lose them, or what? What's the plan here?
And she's like, Rocky, come on, just give it a little gas. We'll be okay. And he's like, the speed limit is 70 miles per hour. She's like, come on, Rocky, just goose it a little bit. And he's like, very well. Guys kind of start to speed up a little bit, and the SUV actually then kind of gets in the lane right behind you, and it's not right on top of you. I mean, they're keeping a distance. Could you make me another perception roll, please?
I can. Oh, that's very good. 5.
Awesome. If you kind of take a look back through the window, and you see driving is a really large man in a black suit and another man sitting in the car. So they're you're like, those almost look like the same guys from the convenience store that I saw.
I think I know those guys in the car. They're in the convenience store, I think.
Oh man, the same two. Rocky, just come on, man, and he's like, very well, and just floors it now all of a sudden. So now he starts to kind of wind in and out of traffic, and the SUV continues to follow. She's like, Optic's like, I don't know if we're gonna be able to lose him. It's like, can you do anything, man? With your
let me try something. He's sort of just gonna like stick his head out the window.
Okay.
And sort of do sort of like a this motion.
Okay.
And he's gonna try to control wind to sort of like lift the car up a little bit.
Okay.
To like try to like
Okay.
make it swerve or
Okay.
like crash or something.
Okay. Okay, so you're gonna roll for that.
Yep. Okay. That's 3.
Okay. You kind of get a gust of wind that kind of pushes back towards the car. It kind of bounces off the SUV, but it kind of doesn't really deter them.
Okay. I guess I'll try something more violent. And I'll sort of like take a deep inhale, and he'll try to do like a similar sort of like blasting
Okay.
attack as he did last time, but this time he's just
Okay.
breathing it out.
Okay. So you roll for that then.
Ooh, that's very good. 6.
Oh, okay. So this icy breeze goes back and actually coats the front windshield with like frost, and then you see they start swerving because now they got frost on their windshield, and the wheels start slipping a little bit. And you see they just start like backing off slowly, and then eventually you see the car pull over, and you've now temporarily disabled them.
All right, now's our chance, my dudes. Gun it.
He does, and as they're
And then also, as they're speeding off, he's just gonna yell, "Fuck the police!" They're speeding by, very clearly breaking the speed limit.
she says, "Hey Rocky, jump off the next exit. Maybe we can definitely lose him." So you actually take the next exit, and then manage to get down this kind of roll down to it's kind of a state road, and Optic kind of just touches her head, and she's like, "Okay, yeah." She goes, "One of the good things I have is a built-in GPS." She says,
That sounds helpful.
She says, "If we take this route here, we can kind of cut through some of these little towns, and we can get back to the interstate. So why don't we head this way? You're driving for about a mile, and really you're just in like country at this point. I mean, there's really not many houses, anything. It's just real cornfields and things like that."
Optic. So is that GPS part of your mutation, or
Yeah.
do you have like a literal GPS inside your brain?
Now I can hook up with electronics and the internet. I don't quite know how I do it. It's just something in
You
my,
just do it.
yeah.
All right.
Uh,
This sounds pretty, you know, nifty.
yeah, I'm hoping they didn't figure that part out about me when they had me for 3 months. She's kind of she kind of shakes her head. She's like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna think about it." She says, "Hey, there's a sign up here, and it says the next approaching town is named Catsbridge, and it's about 25 miles away." And
Okay.
sounds like a small town. Probably not much happens there.
A small town name if I've ever heard it.
Exactly. So you guys get, you guys, about half an hour later, you do get to this small town called Catsbridge, and you pull in, and it's probably about midday or something. About the only things you see in this town is just like maybe a little cafe. You guys are probably starving by now. You probably haven't eaten.
Probably.
So, take you into a.
Haven't eaten in 2 days.
We'll take you to the cafe. We'll say it's called Earl's, and Earl's lunch counter or something like that. Let's call it that, which will become canon later. So you get in. Nobody really seems to notice that you're wearing cargo shorts. I mean, it's a locals place, but it's not like everyone stops and stares at you. A couple people kind of give Rocky a look just because he's so big, but waitress takes you over to a table and gets menus for you, and it seems like this was like the first chance you've had to really relax. And well, since since you went to the convenience store last. And Optic's like, "I'm gonna order one of everything. I'm so hungry."
That's not a bad plan.
Yeah, she's like, "I could get the meal for free, but I'm not that kind of person." She says, I have money, so."
Could get the meal for free.
She's like, "Yeah, I just gotta go into their register and just, if there's a slight calculation with something or miscalculation with something, it might end up, the meal might be free for some reason." But she's
But
like,
that's awesome.
she's like, "Yeah, but I don't do stuff like that, man. That's
Why
stealing."
would you ever pay for anything?
She's like, "You got a lot to learn, Benny." So as you're, what do you decide to order? They have pretty much, like your average diner kind of food.
Waffles, please.
Waffles, okay. Coffee?
Yes.
Okay. And so you guys get this massive trays of food coming out. And Rocky does eat. He just eats very slowly. He's just very methodical. And the waitress is, she puts down your order. You see her, as she kind of looks over, and she says, "Oh, hey, Bobby." And there's a gentleman comes in, an older gentleman, kind of gray hair, and he kind of strolls by and just kind of nods to you guys. He goes over and sits at the counter.
You know that guy?
The waitress says, "You're asking the waitress?"
No, I'm asking Optic.
Oh no, she's like, "I've never been here in my life. He looks harmless."
I know. He nodded at us.
She says, "It's a small town. People are friendly here."
Well, I'm sorry that I'm not used to having government agencies chase after me, and now I'm a little paranoid. I'm sorry.
She's like, "No, I get it. I get it. It's they. I mean, we've kind of encountered AOL before, but not really to this level. I mean, it was more, they were just getting people to, picket, against, places that were hiring mutants and, getting the churches all riled up and stuff." But she says, "But they never, like, attacked. I mean, they never, kidnapped somebody. So I just don't know if they're, they're in league with the government now or kind of what's going on."
Well, it's freaky, whatever it is.
And I think we're going to actually end it right here
Oh, okay.
because what I'm hoping to do is add in a character who lives in Catsbridge by the name of Thunderbolt.
Okay.
So we will actually pick up our next issue. We're going to have Thunderbolt and Old Man Winter meet.
A
A
crossover
crossover.
issue.
Yes, yes. So yeah, this one was kind of short, but I was just kind of getting some things set up. So, but thanks everybody for watching. We'll have a longer issue next time, but if you could give this a like and subscribe to our channel, and we will see you all next time. Thank you.
Oh, can
Oh,
I shout something
of
out
course,
real
yeah,
quick?
of course, sure.
Okay. My friend Justin, they are going to be starting at Justin Richards. They're going to be starting a Kickstarter soon for a compilation of short stories that they're working on
Okay.
called "Everything Is Different Now,"
Okay.
and don't yeah I don't know a ton of the details yet or anything. So if you want to find if you're even remotely interested in it, go check out their social media at Emo Comic Writer. They're very cool. Justin, if you're watching this, hello, I love you. And they've done some other very cool shit. Check out Finger Guns. That's a personal favorite of mine. Yep. It's about emotional emo teenagers who can manipulate people's emotions when they point finger guns at people.
Interesting.
And it gets very deep. That's my little shout out.
Okay. No, that's great. Thanks for bringing that to everyone's attention. We'll get them some attention. So okay. Well, thanks everybody. We will see you next time then.
Bye bye.